Hey everybody, while I was working on the animation for this video, I decided to entertain myself by marathoning every Disney movie ever made. I wanted to review them or something, but no one wants to read 60 movie reviews or binge through my Twitter feed, so I figured it would be more fun to review every movie rapid fire in 10 words or less. Now, let's get one thing straight. By every Disney movie, I don't mean every Disney movie ever made, ever put out. I mean every major animated theatrical release Disney's ever done since the 1930s. So like all the movies you think of when you think Disney, plus some extras that I threw on the list for fun. All the scores are whole numbers out of 10, so there's no 0.5s, there's no decimals, and there's a few negative scores on this list. Now, a negative rating on my system doesn't mean it's worse than a 0 out of 10. Instead, it's measuring the ironic enjoyment, like how fun it is to rip on a bad movie with your friends, because sometimes a bad movie is better than a boring movie, just because you can make fun of it. So without any further ado, here is every Disney film reviewed in 10 words or less. Villain is killed by random lightning bolt. Good job, protagonists.
Where's my dad?
Why, he's in the whale, of course.
Wooden narrator spoils every animated segment before it happens.
Aw, what a cute elephant.
Let's get him drunk.
We see the deer in its natural habitat. It's dead.
Pretty cool documentary guest starring Goofy as a cowboy. Donald Duck flirting with live action women is weird, sorry. Fantasia with lyrics. The child acting is more offensive than the racism. 1940s Jeff Dunham talks about bear sex. Your sins are not forgiven, little toot. If kids love anything, it's legal proceedings in British courtrooms. Everybody is a terrible person, and it's great. If the evil stepmother used a mousetrap, she would have won.
Let me tell you about this weird dream I had.
Holy shit! Tinkerbell is a literal sociopath. Quote my friend, we're 40 minutes in and nothing's happened! Scumps! Lovely style, but you spent too long on barking dogs. More like bored in the stone! Ooh! Drags a little step in time. Repeat for 8 minutes. Mowgli K. Mooney, will you please go now? The movie isn't as good as this song. Someone discovered they were a furry because of this movie. Aw, this is just genuinely charming and sweet. This villain's ridiculous.
I don't want money. I want money. Hey, maybe spend more than one day establishing their friendship.
Sorry, D&D was boring this week, guys. Mouse with boobs, step in time. Regret for 8 minutes. Billy Joel's trying, but this movie isn't good. Good pacing and good music makes good movies. Who would have thought?
But it's an underrated classic.
Too bad it sucks! Ah! Change back, Beast! Your human form is worse! Easily the best film that uses the classic Disney formula. The first half's great, and the second isn't. It's okay! The villain in this movie is the car's glove box.
You're right, those white men were dangerous.
The story of the boner that ruined an entire city. Bless my soul, this movie's skippable. Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I can't China. Wait, Turk is a girl? I never knew that. Space whales!
Next up, the Children's Museum presents Brown Dinosaurs Walking.
I like literally every scene and character in this movie. This excellent cast is better suited for television than film. Proof that you don't need eyelashes and boobs on femalians. Treasure Planet has a Treasure Planet AMV in it. The real bears were man!
What if the sky was made of aliens? Smokes.
You think your family's odd. I bet you forgot this was a Disney movie.
Your dream ain't important. Meredith's frog, child.
Oh, it's the horse from The Road to El Dorado. Goodbye, 2D animation department. What if we made Vanellope super annoying instead of likable? You can tell this was rewritten like 15 times. Big Hero 6 out of 10! Oh! Two amazing leads expertly navigate through modern-day race relations. The best character in this movie is a tattoo. And that's all of them. And of course, you don't want to go back up through that list and pause and check which ones are the best and the worst, so here are the top and bottom 5 Disney movies. Top 5. Number 5, Lilo and Stitch. This beautifully stylized movie captures a complex story about a broken family that's almost uncomfortably believable and incredibly moving. And it has brightly colored aliens for the kids who are too dumb to pay attention to all that, like I was when I first watched it. Number 4, The Hunchback of Notre Dom. A solid cast and darker plotline are accompanied by the best musical score of any Disney film ever made. This film's backing soundtrack is nothing short of incredible, and while I don't actively dislike them, the inclusion of the gargoyle characters keeps this film away from the 10 out of 10 it really deserves. Number 3, The Emperor's New Groove. My personal all-time favorite movie. movie, let alone Disney film. The wonderful characters, style, tone, and incredible writing just make for a genuinely fun experience and a movie that just takes itself the right amount of seriously. Kuzco is the best Disney princess. Number 2, Aladdin. Great songs, perfect cast, and a plot that never feels like it's slow or aimless, which is a pitfall that most Disney princess films eventually fall into. This is the only Disney film that successfully pulls off a dynamic character arc where the protagonist's decisions are what drive the story, and he changes for the better by the end of it. I honestly don't think they will ever make a better princess movie than this one. And the number 1 Disney movie, my pick for the best Disney film of all time, is Zootopia. Zootopia is a masterful commentary on race issues in modern day America. Like, I loved it the first time, but I didn't even realize how good it was until I watched the movie twice and really caught all these cool little lines that they sprinkled throughout the film. The dialogue is artful, and the 2 leads are flat out the best characters Disney has ever produced. Not to mention, the movie wasn't even based on an existing story. It's completely from scratch, and it's a buddy cop movie. Or should I say, a bunny cop movie? Ha ha! These are the jokes! Those are my favorites, but let's be honest, when it comes to lists, no one's really interested in what the best movies are. They want to know what the worst movies are. So what are the bottom 5 absolute worst Disney movies of all time? Here is the bottom 5. Number 5, The Sword in the Stone. The Sword in the Stone is an aimless film about the wizard Merlin's attempts to educate a young King Arthur by turning him into various animals while he learns very little, featuring the most forgettable villain song in Disney history and a protagonist who never directly affects anything that happens. Really just overall a waste of the King Arthur mythos. Number 4, Fun and Fancy Free. 2 mediocre short films, each about 4 times the length they needed to be, are clunkily framed by an inexplicable Jiminy Cricket and an even more inexplicable live-action segment featuring an actual real-life ventriloquist and his 2 ventriloquist dummies at a little girl's birthday party with no other guests. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do the dummies interrupt the film to funnily commentate on it? Oh, you bet they do! Featuring my least favorite Disney song, Say It With a Slap, which is about bears punching each other, and you can listen to it here. Number 3, Chicken Little. Artistically, this is the worst Disney film, hands down. It's ugly, it's schlocky, and it's downright mean-spirited. This feels more like a D-tier DreamWorks film that fills its runtime with pop culture references and pop songs to distract the kids from how bad the movie is. The one bright side is it's pretty fun to riff on with friends, so it does have some value even though it is terrible. Number 2, The Rescuers Down Under. I wanted to like this one. I really did. I've heard lots of good things. I've heard it's underrated. I heard wrong! It's really just every bad animated movie sequel ever made. The titular mice are even less focal than they were in the original movie, which is saying a lot because they weren't very involved in that one either, and the supporting cast is absolute garbage, without a single likable character amongst them. We also get about 4 too many scenes of the oh-so-hilarious Albatross character. I watched this one with a bunch of friends, and we all wanted it to be over by the halfway mark, and we watched Chicken Little together! Some cool new animation techniques keep this one just above a 1 out of 10. And the number 1 worst Disney film of all time is Dinosaur. Dinosaur is like a natural history museum information video, except instead of going for 3 minutes, it goes for 83 minutes, and the only thing you learn is that you hate dinosaur. The crows might be racist, but they're the best part.
Now watch as these young fawns get Twitter-pated.
It's time for your education!
Turns child into a fish. Kid wanders through jungle. Kid wanders through jungle. Kid wanders. Vincent Price versus cartoon mouse Sherlock Holmes? Heck yes!
How do you not know what a fork is?
This villain's ridiculous. I don't want birds, I want bird. Now it sounds like JFK in Australia. Voyeurism lands this protagonist in some hot water. Why was that dinosaur raised by monkeys?